Going to start in today's lecture. So, this is the first lecture for computing projects for digital transformation. So, what we are going to learn in this course is how the digital transformation may be benefits for different organizations. What will be their job roles? How the day-to-day activities in different organizations on their team take place by using these technologies. So we will learn many things in this course that how the digital technologies are transforming our lives, how they are beneficial for business and different organizations. Okay, so the topic of discussion of today is we will identify and explain a range of different opportunities for digital transformation. Why we need a digital transformation in different areas, and if it is needed, how we will apply that change. So this will be the main topic of discussion for today. Now, what is digital transformation? Means how you will adopt the digital technologies. Means how you will transfer your services. For example, how you transfer or transform your manual services to digital services. How you will replace your non-digital processes with automated or digital processes. This is known as digital transformation. So, how we can create multiple opportunities in different sectors to make it more scalable and more efficient if we are using digital technologies. So, the first one is the automation. So, anybody know what is automation before I will explain that? Okay, as the name suggests, what is the meaning of automation or automate? Means the things will done itself instead of having, yes, make a computer do human tasks. Very good. So, as the student mentioned that automation is a process so that we can enable the computer to do the tasks itself. We don't need human beings. So why we need such kind of systems or such kind of programs? Just to reduce human errors. We know that a human can make mistakes, a human can make errors, a human can also get tired, but if we automate that task, the computer can. Computer can provide us more productivity, more efficiency if we use computers. So this is known as automation. Means we will improve our productivity if the computer will perform the task itself. Now we have different examples of automation where the automation can be applied. So if you know some of that examples, you can share your ideas in the chat box. Then we will look towards these examples. Do you know about Tesla? Anyone? Or you know about smart cars or self-driven vehicles? If you know, then you might notice that Tesla is one of the self-driving cars. So we have an answer. Yes, you know that Tesla have automatic drive. That without a human, it can drive itself. It can uh, leave you at your destination without your. So in industrial machinery, so it is an example of industrial machinery that we use robots to automate our assembly lines to improve the production efficiency. We use automation in different factories for vehicle productions. It will reduce production times. So the question is why we need self-driving cars? Why there is a need of such kind of cars? Why the idea of Tesla or different auto-driven cars comes in the mind of engineers or different computer experts that there should be a need of such kind of automation. Do you have any idea about that? You might notice, you have no idea, you might notice there the ratio of road accident is increasing day by day. Why? Just because of different human errors. The drivers cannot drive during night in late hours due to fatigue or sleep, many other problems. So due to this, the ratio of accidents are rising day by day. So after that research on these road accidents, the researchers or different scientists think that there should be a automated vehicles system so that we can reduce the number of road accidents. Then, in order to improve the efficiency and productivity, we use such kind of automated vehicles. Then you might think that if a car will drive itself, then it will not make any mistake or error. It will not break the signals because in its program, everything will be included that if the traffic signal will be red, you have to stop, and green, you have to go. Such kind of technology or functionalities are included in such kind of vehicle so that if there will be automated cars, then the ratio of traffic signal breakage will also be low. So that's why the automated cars or automated vehicles were invented. Then in automation, we have another example like home automation. You might be there might be different devices if you are aware of that. That let's take a simple example for home automation. There will be multiple peoples or multiple security systems are installed in different houses. Now, whenever there will be an unauthorized person tries to enter in the home in the late hours or midnight hours, that alarm will rings. So that is an automation system. Or whenever you enter in your room, the lights will turn on automatically. When you leave your room, the light will turn off automatically. Your room temperature will according to this setted environment. So such kind of things are also programmed in homes. Then in agriculture automation. For irrigation or harvesting, there might be different robots are used to harvest your crops, to track the operations, to improve your crop yield, to reduce the labor cost. Such kinds of things were used. Now the question is why we use automation? What are the benefits of automation? First one is it will reduce labor cost. Like if the systems will do the job itself, we don't need to hire the labor for done their tasks. Then it will provide the efficiency and productivity. So that was the benefits. So anyone can tell what will be the disadvantage of using the automation. So one of the disadvantage of using the automation or digital technologies can be, for example, if you are using the automation, I told you that you don't need to hire. So we got an answer. Yes, it is true, but I am talking about if you automate the jobs. So it will reduce the number of the jobs. People will become jobless if everything is done by robots everywhere. So that cannot be, it will automatically reduce the number of the jobs. People will not get the job just because of the automation. So that can be a simple disadvantage. Then we have development of products. How we have different digital opportunities in developing different products. How? So if we use modern digital tools, it will automatically help in business development. It will become more responsive. It will produce high capacity products. But how? First one is the scalability. Now, I told you multiple times, I think in previous course, what is scalability means whenever the things grow. Now, let's take an example. So, let's take an example here of scalability. For example, you have a stretchable bag. Okay. In your stretchable bag, you can add as many things as you want. When you add more things, the bag will more stretch. It will stretch according to your items you put in there. It will not break because it is stretchable. So this is what the scalability is. As your business will grow or your business need will grow, the storage space or something that you are using for technology is also grows. Now let's take an example of Google Cloud here. Now you might use Google Drives for storing your data or uploading your uh, documents. So you might notice that after 15 GB, you have to subscribe or pay a specific amount. Then according to your requirement, you purchase specific storage. For example, you might need 5 GBs to store your personal data. You might need 10 GBs more. So whenever you demand for more storage, they are providing you. They are not saying that your limit is completed. We are providing you the limited space. They are providing you the unlimited space based upon your provided amount. So that is known as scalability. As your need grows, that required device or system will also grow. So that is why in modernization it will scale according to your increased demand. Then responsiveness. So what does the responsiveness means? Okay, that whatever might happen, that it should be able to react in real time. It must ensure that your business remains agile or revolutionary. Like how you might know about Amazon Web Services. They have they will provide you a responsive and cloud-based infrastructure. Means dynamically based on the traffic, it will provide you the resource. So if we talk about a simple example here, you might know about a website or whenever if you observe that thing that whenever you open a website on laptops, its width or dimensions change according to your screen there. And when you open that same website on your smartphones, its layout and dimension change according to your mobile screen layout. So that is responsiveness. How a certain thing will react in real time towards the environment. Okay. Then capacity expansion. Now in this era, cloud-based solutions are more preferred. Why? The reason is that it will provide you or expand the capacity according to your need. Expansion is possible here. So that's why mostly cloud-based solutions are used. Then we take the example of Tesla here that in their vehicle production, they used to integrate automations. Day by day, they are assembling AI into their system just to provide a good responsive solution. Now, that was how we can use the digital technologies in different product manufacturing. We learned about automation, how automation is changing the way of doing business. Now, the third one is modernizing operational practice. Now, what does it mean? Now, look, it means how you can simplify your daily work just to enhance your overall capability. Now, for example, in your organization or your or a company you work in, you daily have to manually write your attendance on some sort of sheet. You daily have to ask the manager to assign a specific task to you. You daily have to go by yourself to your manager office to submit your daily report or something like. But if that tasks are automated, or if there is a software that will automatically mark your attendance whenever you entered in the office just by scanning your presence, so it will be easy for you that you don't need to mark your attendance daily. If there will be a software by using which you can just send your tasks, or your manager will automatically assign a task to you, then it will be easier for both of you. So that is what meaning of simplifying the process or modernizing the operational practice. Now, what are the benefits? We have, I told you that it will improve the workflow. That in the example we have discussed that the manager have to manually assign the tasks to each and every person. But if there is a software for doing such thing, then it will improve the workflow. Now we have such softwares just like Asana or Trello. Now the basic purpose of these two software is to manage the project. It will provide you different software tools, different types of automations where it will help you to streamline your tasks, to manage or to collaborate with others. Then improving capabilities. Now, you might be aware about aviation, different aviation schools where they train pilots. Okay, different commercial pilots get their training in different aviation schools. Now, to train pilot, for example, you are a beginner. You joined the aviation school. You want to get a pilot training. So they will not in the start will provide you with the plane and ask you to go and fly that plane, because they know that you are beginner, so that can be a risky. That can be so risky. So how they train the beginner pilots? They will not assign different planes to them. They use different simulation softwares, different simulating environments, different systems are used to create such kind of environment that will provide the real experience. Whenever you enter in that machine, it will show that you are really flying. You are in the air and you are really flying a plane, just to train you how you will actually fly. And after 1 year or 2 year training, when a pilot is well trained in the simulation, then they will, just to test the pilot, they will ask him to fly the real thing. So that is how simulation softwares are used to improve capabilities, not in aviation schools. In different business, they can these simulation softwares are used to prototype the product. For example, how some business organization wants, for example, a builder wants to share the idea of how a town will look like after the completion, how a building will look like. So for that, they might use simulation software to show after 1 or 2 year completion of a building, it will look like this. Just to improve the capabilities, we use such kind of simulation software. Then for accessing new markets and customers. So let me know if you have any idea how we use digital technologies to attract new customers. Good, by advertising, how you will use digital technology for advertising. That is a good answer, that yes, by digital marketing, you will attract new customers. So that's the same thing I want to explain, that by using digital technologies or digital solutions, you can even attract your customers. You can, for example, for brand building, Nike or different brand use digital marketing to attract customers from different social media platform, from e-commerce platform. This is how the business works. So this is how the digital technologies are helping businesses to grow, to attract customers by through different social media platforms. Now, for designing and prototyping, we have different tools. We talk about simulation here. Like we have AutoCAD or SolidWorks that will help you to create rapid designs or simulations. Okay. Now, how the fifth one is how you are taking advantage of emerging technologies. Now, let me know if you know about some of the emerging technologies that are mostly used nowadays. Yes, we have AI. Very good. Now, everyone knows that this is the era of AI and machine learning. The emerging technologies are AI and machine learning that are helping us a lot, whether if we talk about in education aspect or in the aspect in the business aspect. Everywhere AI is providing us benefits. We have different AI chatbots like ChatGPT that is helping the business to enhance the customer experience. If we talk in the context of education, students can get help in their assignments or the tasks that are assigned to them. Then we have another new technology that is blockchain. Maybe you might be aware of that. That if you want a decentralized transaction, as you don't want a centralized transaction, that your amount is gone first to a centralized location and then from that centralized location, the other person, they will provide the amount to the other person. If you don't want that, you want a decentralized, then blockchain is much better. Why it is better? Because it is providing good data security, especially in finance department. We have Bitcoin, one of the most common example of that. Then for future proofing through upskilling. Like if you have more digital solution, then upskill employees are also required. Now in business, I told you that everyone need AI integration. Everyone need instead of physical storage, they need a database or a cloud-based solution. Now for handling all that stuff, they also need a skillful person. So we can say that technology is providing multiple job opportunities to youngsters. If you have a required skill, then you can highly or easily hired by that organization. You can be a AI expert or a data analytics expert. You can be a database administrator. So these are the skills that you can have, but there are multiple ones. So we can say that it is providing us a better future. Then seventh one is the leveraging connected technologies. Now, what does it mean? It means that these technology enables the organization to automate customer interaction. They are enabling us that the organizations will provide you personalized marketing efforts. Now, what does it mean? For example, you have to do social media marketing. You have to post daily about your product. So instead of hiring a person to post daily about your product, you will create a software that will automatically post something daily on their different social media accounts. For that, we have Buffer or many other softwares for that purpose. Then for personalized marketing, means according to the personal preference, we want to show customer products or advertisement on their homepage whenever they're using a social media application. We have HubSpot that will provide you a personalized email marketing based on the customer behavior, based on the leading to their higher conversion rate. Sometimes we think whenever we are scrolling or just viewing our Facebook page or social media or Instagram page, you might think according to your personal experience or need, that app is showing you the advertisement. For example, if you have recently visit a shopping store on Instagram or a page or a shopping page, you might think you are getting posts related to that. Or if you are scrolling on TikTok, especially if you have viewed a certain video more than uh, 30 seconds, or if you have viewed similar two or three videos of same topic, you will start getting more videos about it. So these are the personalized marketing that can be enabled from different social media platforms by using AI algorithms we can do. Then how digital technologies are modernizing the IT infrastructure. I told you that by modernizing IT infrastructure for especially scalability to provide you a better, secure, and efficient digital operation, they are using that. Now, we know that the business like Netflix, Snapchat, or it can be X or Facebook, all of these infrastructures are cloud based. Now we have two main cloud vendors like Amazon Web Service or Google Cloud. They are providing the better scalability and secure option according to the user demand. So this is how the IT infrastructure is mostly moving towards for buying the physical servers towards the cloud infrastructure. Now before that, they need physical servers to store the storage. But after that, they are using this cloud solutions for that. Then we have the second topic of discussion. So anyone know about Amazon Web Service or Google Cloud? Why we use that? So you might be aware of Google Cloud. Yes, for storage, and they are also providing us multiple services like Gmails or Google Sheet, Google Workspace. Good. So digitizing the documentation. So for digitizing, then what does it mean then? For better storage, we work. So digitizing the documentation means you have to convert your digital documents into the digital form. Now, what can be your digital documents? It can be your personal documents, the documents of an organization or business. Why we do that? Now, the physical documents can be misplaced. The physical documents can be stolen. Multiple things can happen to physical documents. So, for providing a better solution, we try to convert all our documents in the digital form. Now, why we do that? The first benefit of doing that is it provides us the better storage. If you might think that if you store your document in physical form, it might take a lot of space, a lot of paperwork can be needed, paper or space, multiple things you have to do for storing your important document in digital form, in physical form. But if it will be digital file, it will take less space. It will be secure on Google or cloud platforms. Then it will automatically improve the physical to a digital space. Then it will take less storage. It will improve the organization because document can be indexed. Like if they are stored in the physical space, then all your documents will be in physical form. Then If someone wants a specific document, then it will be take a lot of time to retrieve that document. But if it is stored in the digital form, just in the one click, you can access that. It is available every time. For example, in the healthcare provider, digitizing the patient record, they uses systems like called electronic healthcare records. Just to improve the patient care to make a specific decision by making the records more accessible across the department. They use that. Then for improving the customer experience, we have chatbots like Zendesk or LivePerson that will provide you the customer assistance 24/7. They will respond to your basic queries. There will be remote management. So these are multiple benefits of using our digital solution. That how you can enhance your customer experience. Then you can become a greener. What does a greener mean? That you will become more reliable. You become more productive if you use such kind of solutions. Like how? It will reduce in carbon footprints. Now, what does the carbon footprints mean? That you don't need the physical infrastructure, you don't need the paperwork, you don't need to travel from place to place because digital technologies are also providing the remote solutions. You don't need environmental setup. So it will automatically help you to reduce your carbon footprint. Then sustainability practice. What does it mean? That there will be, just to become more sustainable, the company mostly prefer virtual meetings instead of in-person travel. Now, different companies, you might be aware, like Microsoft or Google, have to reduce the carbon footprints. How? They are providing workspace. If you are aware of Google Workspace, where you can share your documents with different people, you can collaborate with them. Then Google provides you Google Meet. Then Microsoft provides you with Microsoft Teams, where you can work on a same project with different people. So these are the benefits that will help you to become more green. You can modernize yourself. Then if we talk about the education and training, we have remote learning platforms. We have different remote learning platforms like Coursera. We have edX. We have Udemy. Like currently, you are also learning remotely. So, can anyone can tell me some benefits of remote education or remote learning? So you don't need a physical attendance. You don't need to attend physical classes as your at your own pace. You can attend different classes. There is no time limit. You can learn at your specific time that is set by you. So these are most of the benefits of remote learning. You have greater choice of programs. Means there are variety of training courses that you can take according to your need or professional skills you are looking for. You can use that skills. So these are the examples how the digital technology is transforming our life. So this was the introductory lecture, the first lecture. So if you have any question till now, let me know.